I traded in my amulet for mutton chop. They're not called mutton chops. What are they called? The hair you have on your side hair. Sideburns? Sideburns. I googled this just so I would not mess it up. Sideburns, yes. Now you might be saying to yourself, Matthias, this is a bit strange. Because last time you played Pokemon, it was Pokemon Shield. And this is Pokemon Sword. You didn't buy Pokemon Sword and play through the entire game in between you last streaming Pokemon Shield, did you? Oh, I don't know, maybe. Maybe I did. Who's asking? Gamer. That's me. My god. It's so strange. I don't know, I've been kind of obsessed with making emotes because I just wanted to have the availability of something. And I have no clue if they're actually going to work out. I may adjust, here's an example I can give. I made all these emotes, and then as I was making the emotes, the sideburns just kept getting bigger in the emotes. And eventually, they were just a part of a character, especially with like the dancing drum and all that. So I had to go back and change, like, all of the emotes have bigger sideburns. Then I had to change my character, my model, to have sideburns, just to make it stand out more. But I quite like it. I quite like it as a, I don't know, feature. People have compared it to a character named Shiraishi, I think, from, what's the name, Golden Kamuy. And I saw one episode because of that, and I thought it was decent. I think I'll probably get a lot of that. But, how have I never been in this part of the city before? I got Black Sludge for that. Awesome. I had no clue you could go here. You could just bicycle through here. That's crazy. This looks exactly like a specific part of London, doesn't it? Hello, the aesthetic. It's Pokemon time. It's true. I'm actually at the finale. I think I have a decent team, I think. Oh, wait. I was about to face him, and I have not healed up my Pokemon. Oh, that character has glorious sideburns. You gotta step up on your game, Matthias. Oh, man. And maybe one day, maybe I can never compare, and that's okay. I don't know, I could see that as a development. I could develop this model, I don't know, in the future. Maybe one day I will be 2D. Maybe one day I will be 3D. And you can see, like, 3D sideburns. That would be awesome. Hello? I don't know why I'm touching you. Go whole hog on the burns, mutton chop. Maybe. Maybe you come 4DS. My god. 4 dual screens. I looked like a dork wearing mutton chops in college, and I thought I looked so cool. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of fashion that's, like, really difficult to, like, pull off in real life, but looks good on cartoons. Like, I don't know, like, you could have this kind of facial hair that I have right now, these kinds of eyebrows, mutton chops, and you would look like a complete moron in real life. But, as a cartoon, it's good. Like, in real life, I just have a boring beard. But I didn't like the idea of just having, like, a bearded character for a model. So I felt like I needed something that represents having a beard. But that is, like, how should I put it? Something that can communicate more? Because it can be difficult to draw a beard. Beard adjacent, the symbolism of a beard is here, I think. I have been so scared. Actually, what scared me of playing this game last time was that I was talking, and I was so distracted by talking that I was clicking through the game, and I made a Pokemon not learn a move as I was just, like, clicking through, and then I was like, wait, what the hell just happened? What did I do? My god. We've been through a whole journey together. Actually, yeah, I'll do a coward attack, actually. This is perfect. There you go. I'm a master Pokemon. Master. Well, I kind of screwed myself by doing that. Okay, I'll go Surf Fetched. This is probably my favorite Pokemon in Pokemon Swords so far, because it's just constant critical strikes. And it's just a badass design. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. There's like a whole series coming out. Yeah, I hadn't even played Surf Fetched by the time that was announced, by the time I saw that. And I always missed out on this because I had played Pokemon Shield before. My god. This is just ridiculous. Watch this. Okay, hold on. Oh my god. Okay, I said watch this. It's not very effective for every single move. Alright, watch this. Alright, that's actually pretty good. I actually haven't seen that much of, like, the new Pokemon anime. I think I watched, like, 2 episodes of the new one with the cat. It seemed decently good. Oh my god, look at this beast. Hello Ray, the new Pokemon anime is pretty good. Okay, I should check it out then. I should check it out. All I know is there's like a green cat. And there's a girl. Jesus Christ. Look at that thing. Oh, that's legitimately horrifying. Look at doing like a JoJo pose at me. I don't remember this from Pokemon Shield. He's dead. He's decimated. He's gone. This probably awakened something in someone. Oh my god. Inteleon? Go at him, buddy. But I do like the concept of, like, doing new Pokemon series and new anime, but sort of, I'll just go Dynamax, why not? Instead of just continuing with Ash Ketchum. Although I would like to see Ash Ketchum returns. He probably has returned, right? He must have returned at some point. He must have made, like, a guest appearance. But I feel like they've had that need for that for a long, long time. I think even as a kid, I was kind of like, it's still Ash, huh? Still going at it. But also, you can't kill that brand with Pikachu. My god. Just like that. Kinda just wish we made a new series and Ash is like Red from Gold Silver. He's just a grown-ass man. That would be cool, yeah. It would be a really weird time skip now, because so much has happened. And he still looks the same, but he just comes back all of a sudden. He's just a grown man. He comes back looking like he's been taking, like, steroids. Steroids? My god, Inteleon. So cool. How can people hate Inteleon? They're crazy, they're insane. It just becomes like a bus driver. I don't know, I don't think this is a good pitch. I don't think this is a good... He's supposed to be the Pokemon Master, man. That would be depressing. I don't know, maybe it would be too realistic. Because you have this hero you've grown up with and watched as you were a kid. And you see them, you know, strive for the greatest thing throughout your childhood. And then in the end, it's just, oh, it's return to normality, return to reality. Ash is like those child prodigies at chess. Who knows what happens with them after age 14. It's weird. I've known people like that. And he just ended up... They were like geniuses when they were 10 years old. And now we're adults and we're drug addicts. And it's like, what the hell happened here? As a kid, you just felt like, wow, these kids are going to turn out great. Apparently not. This is a depressing thing to talk about. I'm supposed to be excited. I'm supposed to be a Pokemon master. Snipe shot. Murder this cheat. There we go. Dead. Alright, Inteleon. Yeah. I command you. Murder this thing. I don't like looking at it. Go. It's so overpowered. Inteleon is the best, but it's also ridiculous. I can just be like, hey, take him out for me, murder it. Okay, this one he won't be able to take out. Snorlax is too powerful. Yeah, I knew it. I don't know, I kind of like the style of this Pokemon game. It's grown on me. Well, I don't really like the whole football theme. It kind of feels like there is. It does feel like a bit too British, almost. I can't even imagine any of these characters having a British accent. I don't even try to do that. This would be so scary in real life. It would, but it would also be so horrifyingly boring to watch this whole match unfold. It's just me with one single Pokemon destroying one team. Would you actually enjoy that? I mean, maybe. Maybe this is like that Brazil-Germany football game. Check this out. Oh wait, he's confused. Never mind. Nope, he's going at it. Dead. Last resort. Okay, Umbreon jumps in at the last moment to be like, hey guys, what about me? Thanks, mate. I'm not even gonna try. I always forget this whole game is British up until they say one British thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've been like imagining they all have American accents this entire time. Good on you, Machi, and Inteleon, and all the rest of your team. Yeah, those guys. Question 3. Level with me, kiddo. Your honest thoughts here. Think you can win the finals too? I doubt it. Nah, yeah, of course. I got Inteleon, bitch. I didn't have to. Sorry, I shouldn't be rude. Ah, they're gonna air that on TV. Scooby-Doo, I think Cool Swill sucks. Yeah, that, you know, they cut it out of context. Gulps. This guy. Look at him. I'm just gonna keep it like this for a while. Why not? Look at those teeth. Yeah. Alright. That's enough of that. Keep it like this, a fly will go into his mouth. Oh man, if I were not lazy, I would be able to edit that in. My god, I can't ride my bicycle right now. Can you imagine? Alright, as a whole, I like this game. I think this... Honestly, I think Sword and Shield is probably like... Oh man, it feels so weird to say. Because I feel like everything I have shown so far has been a bit underwhelming. But I kind of really dig this game. It's kind of like one of my favorite Pokemon games. I think favorite has to be Arceus, probably. In terms of main game, this might honestly be it. I think it just has a lot of elements that I really like. But story is just okay, but it's not so bad that it's like getting in your way of like, here's a horrible thing that you have to go through. It's more like, it's a bit of spice added to the rest of the gameplay. It's the worst in the beginning of the game. But past that, I guess this is like maybe the second worst part here in the end. Arceus is great, it feels like verse hard. Yeah, I agree, and I very much vibe with like the whole like atmosphere and time period and all of that. Like 1800s, late 1800s Japan is an awesome time period. Anyway, we gotta search for these guys. Because Matthias likes this... yeah. Might be shocking. Yeah, I'm full of surprises. It's just a guy. Yeah, that's a guy. That was kind of my disappointment with Legend CA. It wasn't really this whole like it's set in a setting. It's set in a city thing. It was kind of like after that, I kind of expected them to be like, we're going into the future. And that would have also been cool. But modern day is fine. City is fine. Goodbye, meow. France is fine, I guess. It's fine. What the hell, an ant? Okay, kill the ant. Ridiculous. Insane. Kill the ant. I feel like this is the funniest part of the game, almost. Just like how much Inteleon carries everything. I could have picked any starter Pokemon, and I picked Inteleon again. He's just that good. And I just like his design. Look at this guy. He's supposed to be James Bond. Can you believe that? This. Looking at this, he was inspired by James Bond. Weird. I went to London, and I took a train to a place called Lincoln. And that was probably the worst train experience I've ever had in my life. Because apparently British railways are just awful. I remember you had to take the train to a point halfway to Lincoln, north of England. And as we were sitting there waiting for our train, a train was passing through. that was like an ancient train from like, I don't know, it looked like an ancient train from like the 1920s, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. That's like a memorabilia of it, where you just have out on the rails. Like, this is like a, I don't know, it's like a train that shouldn't be in operation, but maybe they're like doing it for like some historical thing. And then it stopped at our stop, and I realized, this is my train. This is the train I'm taking. This is not like memorabilia from the 1900s. This is just, they are still using this really awful train. And it was really hot that summer, and it had no ventilation, so we were just dying inside of that train. Even the people there working on that train just felt like apologetic for the fact that they were working on that train. You might not be surprised to hear that I quite liked the train experiences in Japan. That was the only time that I've felt like, wow, trains are actually cool. And maybe it is actually because of that London to Lincoln experience, that awful British train experience. That is like maybe the only reason why I could look at my later Japanese train experience and be like, holy shit, dude, this is amazing. I'm in the future. Because taking a train from Tokyo, or Narita to Tokyo, rather, it didn't feel very special at first, but then you kind of go through the countryside and you see the city. It's kind of insane, actually, just seeing like how underdeveloped like parts of Japan were when you landed right in Japan. Like, I was kind of shocked by it. And I guess it's because apparently like the area surrounding the airport is like a more poverty level. So it was kind of a shock to the system when your experience through Japanese media is like Japan is kind of fancy, or like not really fancy, but a lot of it is like very well developed. And then you land in Japan and it's kind of like like really run down, and you're looking at this ancient architecture and you're kind of like, what is happening? Is all of Japan like this? Has it all been like an illusion? But that kind of, as you went into Tokyo closer and closer, you began to realize like, oh my god, like a lot of Japan is probably really underdeveloped outside of Tokyo. It was very, does anyone remember the game Exit 8? With like the whole like you have to leave a train station in Japan. And if you haven't been to a train station in Japan, you might be like, oh, what a silly premise for a video game, right? Having to like, I don't know, like if I had never been to a train station in Japan, Exit 8 I think would not have seemed that intimidating. But having been to Ikebukuro train station, if you can call it that, it's like ridiculous how scary it is trying to like, yeah, the one where you have to spot the difference, because that is like legitimately what it feels like being in a train station in Japan, because they are not well planned out. It can be like, I don't know, not horrifying, but I did feel like a similar kind of dread going through a train station in Ikebukuro, where it's like, I have zero clue. What the hell? He's been here the whole time? My god, did anyone spot him? But legitimately, going through like a train station in Japan, they are not well, like, it's extremely difficult to find where you're going. And even leaving the train station is like, I have no clue where to go. And if you can ask people there, and even they will be like, I'm not sure. Like, a lot of the time, it will be like, I think a lot of the time, it's probably not that they don't want to help. I think a lot of the time it's just like, it's too complicated for me to explain how to leave this train station. So I'm saying I don't know, and I'm wishing you the best of luck. Because Exit 8, I haven't played the sequel, but I really liked that game because it made me like re-experience that, like, I don't know, atmospheric horror that I felt in real life, and I could be like, oh my god, other people can relate to that. I'm not the only one. I did not have to spot the difference though, so I'm thankful for that. There was not a single point in Japan where I was stuck in a time loop. Although maybe I should have been. Maybe I would have liked it. I don't know. Something so funny about hanging out in a train station and someone asking me how to leave this building and saying, I don't know. I mean, that's like, I feel like that's like a legit atmosphere there. Or like, I don't know, you see people hanging around and maybe you're just like, they just didn't know how to leave, so this is where they live now. And you probably could live there. I mean, there's like restaurants and like shops and everything. Like, I was kind of like, It didn't seem very fancy to like eat at a restaurant in a train station in Japan. But every now and then I would walk through those, I would walk by those restaurants and be like, this looks kind of good though. I don't know if I want to have a train station hamburger, but this train station is really making this seem fancy. And Sai said no, my friend Sai, who I was traveling with, said, no, we're not having a train station hamburger. I'm taking you to like a soba place. I was like, yeah, I mean, that sounds good too, but we don't know how to leave a station. So I guess this seemed like the more logical thing to pick at a time. Just kind of what you gotta do when it's your eternal purgatory. Yeah. It's also really interesting going to like, I mean, you can see a lot of things at a train station in Japan that's just like stands out. You see people wearing like fashion that you maybe have not expected to see. Like you see like one group of guys dressed up in like Visual K and you're like, what the hell? Now these people have been stuck in like a time travel loop because they're not supposed to be here. They're like from the 2000s. No one's listening to Visual K anymore, man. Not even me. I know every now and then I listen to Visual K. Just as a nostalgic memory. Malice Miser during Grey. I don't think I ever saw Gyaru, though, when I was in Japan. I saw reminiscent things of Gyaru. But that fashion, I guess maybe it's been a bit of a resurgence lately. But then it was long and gone. No Gyarus. That was our Ash post-Pokemon moment. Yeah. I mean, they did not look like teenagers. They looked more like they were in their 40s. Not a good time loop to be like stuck, but also aging. I think that's just called real life. This ant, I keep meeting this ant. And I'm looking at this ant like, I've never seen this Pokemon before in my life, but I must have, right? There's no way I haven't seen this Pokemon before. But it is kind of amazing that you can go through so much with Pokemon and be like, even now this thing is a surprise to me. I mean, it's just an ant. Isn't that any... people say every Pokemon is someone's favorite Pokemon. Is that ant someone's favorite? I mean, maybe there's like one... Alright, there could be one guy who's like obsessed with ants. And he's like, I love this Pokemon. And it would make perfect sense. Alright, I can see it. Does anyone like Chansey, though? Like a big Pokemon with an egg? That's your favorite? What kind of sicko are you? I don't know, if someone... there could be someone who's like, my favorite Pokemon is Vaporeon, Low Bunny... What's it called? Low Bunny? The big green woman. It could be like, alright. And then someone's like, my favorite Pokemon is Chansey. You're gonna be like, what the fuck? What is this? Is there a Pokemon that's one guy? Like, I'm the guy, the only one who could love it? I don't know, I think I'm too boring, I'm too generic, I guess. I'm trying to think what is a weird... I guess, Janma, actually, and that's a bug Pokemon. It's like a dragonfly, but I think Janma is relatively popular, but that's probably like the weirdest one I can think of. I know, I like dragonflies. But dragonfly already is like a pretty cute bug, I have to say. Out of all bugs, dragonflies are probably like acceptable to everyone, right? They're just like kind of... You could be like symbolic with them, and they could be cute. Relatively speaking. Dragonflies are great by name alone. Yeah, that's how you know an animal is cool, if it has a good name. That is true. Like, I feel like sea lions deserve more love. I don't know, sea lion is like the first thing that comes to mind, I guess. Because I guess the name sea lion is kind of cool, but it doesn't stand out very much. I don't know, maybe I'm picking a weird one. But I feel like sea lion is not actually that good of a name, I guess. But sea lions are cool animals. Wow. Oh, I have to move. Okay. Okay, I had to move just that little bit. Alright. Do you know what an elephant is called in Japanese? This is something... Speaking of names, this always bothers me whenever I'm reminded of it. It's called soul. Like, C-O-U. It's the name for elephant in Japanese. Soul. And I just think it's a bad name for elephant. Elephant bites... Just the word elephant sounds majestic compared to soul. And it must be really weird also. Every now and then I think about this. Not to talk about Buddhism again, but there is a deity in like... Well, actually it's not really even about Buddhism. It's about Hinduism. In India, there's like an elephant god, right? I don't know, it's so... It's I guess it's kind of imposing. Maybe it is cool. But there's like a Hindu god. Is it... who is the one with the elephant head? I could be completely wrong, but it's Shiva. No, wait, maybe it's not Shiva even. But there's a Hindu god with an elephant head. And that god spread through Buddhism and other various influences across East Asia, China, Korea, and Japan. So even in, like, Japan, this Hindu god exists with the elephant head. And it must be so strange to be like someone in medieval Japan seeing this, like, god with an elephant head, and you're supposed to make sense of what you're looking at, of like, oh yes, of course, this thing. Like, imagine a man with an elephant head and you have never seen an elephant before in your life. Wouldn't you just be like, my god, what a monstrosity? And I think that is part of, like, why, I don't know, over time, that god, at least in the Japanese, like, pantheon, kind of became different. It started to become more human-like. And I think early on it was even, like, suggested that, like, oh my god, I'm fighting a water Pokemon with fire. It was even suggested that, like, you shouldn't look at it. No, it's kind of interesting. Just, like, I'm trying to picture that in my head of, like, can you imagine? It's like that idea of facing up an army with a war elephant. Or, yeah, exactly. Like, how people just used to fight that. And, like, they used to fight with elephants, and you might never have seen that before. And you might have been, like, one of the skeptics early on who was like, I don't think monsters and mythology and witches is real. And then one day you're, like, just have a battlefield and you see a war elephant and you're like, holy shit. Unicorns are real, I guess. Because look at this thing. The only way I can make sense of it is like, this is a mythological creature. I mean, we kind of did a similar thing in Scandinavia, where we have a lot of heraldry. There's like lions, and, like, big wild cats, but we didn't know, like, for most of European history, the lion was imagined to be like a mythological creature, much like a unicorn. So people used lions in heraldry not even knowing that they were like a real thing. That's kind of cool. You guys know that monkeys used to exist in Europe like a long time ago? It might be the reason why there's like goblins in mythology. Like, the goblin mythology might have originated from the monkey. I don't know, I like imagining that. It could be real. There could be something real to it. You could imagine, like, a monkey being a goblin. You could imagine a goblin being monkey-like. Wait, like, how long? I think that's like 5,000 years ago. I don't know. Like, very long time ago. It would go way back. But I think that's like, I don't know, there could be, I think there's probably some truth to, like, a lot of things. Like, I could imagine, like, the whole, like, Norse pantheon being based off real people, like, a really long time ago, right? Like, maybe Odin was, like, a real guy, and he was just, like, a guy who, like, took care of a lot of kids, and then over time he became known as, like, the All-Father. Because when he died, people were just like, oh, wow, like, a lot of people are, like, showing up for this Odin guy. And they really miss him, and he meant a lot to them. And then from that, you get, like, hundreds of people who are all, like, not only just, like, saying prayers for Odin, the quote-unquote real person, but then they carry that on over generations until eventually it's just, like, a lot of people offering prayers to Odin. Could be real, you know. I don't know, I have no basis to make this claim. I'm just saying, hey, that could be a real thing, maybe. Oh no, Matthias is bald. Yeah, it finally happened. I don't know, I made that, like, buzz cut model a while back, right? And then later, when I looked back at it, I was kind of like, you know what? I kind of dig it. I kind of like it. So I just decided, like, you know what? No, wait, it was after, actually, it was as I was drawing the emotes, right? That I was drawing myself with hair, and I was like, I don't know, I feel like... And then I tried it out, changing it to the bald look. And I was like, I kind of feel like this looks better, right? And I kind of like this look more. And right then I decided, you know what, this should just be my official look. I should just stick to being a buzz cut bald. The reason why I had, wait, you seem about 30 years younger. Do I? From this? Oh yeah. From that? Yeah. I mean, compared to that model, yeah. I do think, I don't know, the reason why I actually had that hair to begin with was like, I thought like, well, if I just have a buzz cut, then I'm just gonna look like myself in real life. I didn't want a model that looks too much like myself in real life, but of course, inevitably, as I did that buzz cut on my model, I was just like, oh, I don't know, maybe this is better. I can see myself being this. Of course I can. That's me. My god. Oh, I can't ride my bicycle right now. It wouldn't be good to ride onto the court on a bicycle. People wouldn't like it. People complain about no voice acting in Pokemon games, but I feel like it would be so strange. It would be so weird to hear like voice acting in Pokemon. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Is this a satisfying conclusion for BD? Have you ever noticed the word bed looks like a bed? Kind of fucked up. That is really fucked up. Yeah, let me type it out. Look at this. Bed. That's just straight up a bed. You can even do it with capital B. You'd be like, oh my god, it's just a bed with a pillow. Word mouse looks like a house, too. Wait, what? Huh? I can't spell. I don't think I see it either. Wait, the word mouse looks like a mouse, too. Actually, the more that I'm looking at the word mouse, I'm beginning to see it. I can see the M being like, I don't know, the mouth? Kinda see. I think this is like how we, I don't know, this is kind of how you start like a cult, or like mass psychosis. Yeah, like the more that I'm looking at the word mouse, the more I can see the mouse. It's a space on Mars territory, yeah. Have you guys heard that thing about the bunny on the moon thing in East Asian, like, mythology? I've heard that so often, and I'm like, I kind of like it. But, I've just never been able to see it. Like, I've looked at the moon specifically looking for, like, the bunny pounding mochi, as they say in Japan, and I just do not see it. I think at one point I even looked it up, like, how do you look at the moon in order to be able to see it, and I could not see it at all. You have just pointed at something, and you're calling it a mouse, and that one I actually see less than the word mouse being a mouse. When I was a teenager, I invented my own emoji. It was like this, and it was a drooling face. I called it the drooling face, and no one liked it. No one, I was the only one who used it. But I was like, yeah, that's my emoji. I invented that all by myself. It looks like a bomb. Okay, well, or a mouse. What would be the context for it? I don't recall. I don't recall. I think I would just force that emote into like situations so that people could ask me and be like, what the hell is that? And I could be like, it's a drooling face. And they would be like, oh, okay. Open face drooling? Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm trying to look at the mouse again. Okay, I can kind of... Okay, now I'm beginning to see the mouse now. Alright, I see the mouse, actually. But I feel like that could also be a bird, isn't it? That's like a bird. I'm going crazy. This is mass psychosis. We have induced like mass psychosis in ourselves. Can anyone see my bird? Maybe if I do this, actually. That's a bird. Right now we have two birds fighting each other, actually. How about that? Like flying sideways. I was thinking that, yeah, it was kind of like it could be flying with like its wing down, or it could just be laying down. Oh my god, it's easy. Thank you for the sub. I'm so new to all this. Whoa, wait, hold on, what did I just do? Forgot Brick Break and learned Final Gambit. Oh no, I was just clicking through. I did the exact same thing that I was talking about earlier, where like I was just hitting the A button and I made someone forget a move. And I just did it again. Steezy! My god. Thank you for the sub. What did he even learn? Final Gambit? Ah, that's actually, I mean, I would have, had I I don't know if I would have learned this otherwise if I hadn't just done that by accident. But it is a kinda good move, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have much to lose now. Might as well. Alright, it wasn't that good. I mean, it's kind of only good in the beginning. I don't like that Pokemon just walking around like a real person. He's way too normal height. Scorbunny, get out of here. Ew. Oh, wait, look at the monitor. What's going on? Could it be? Hello there, Leon and Machi. Just letting you know. I think it's time I brought about the darkest day for the sake of Galar's future, of course. No, I don't mean I won't do it now either. I'm in a bit of a pickle. Energy released by the darkest day. Yeah, there we go. I'm sorry it's come to this, but it's you who forced my hand, Leon. You refuse to listen. Alright, let's get to it. This is an Americanized version of Britain. I don't want to read it like that. It's kind of weird that I like Pokemon so much, because I'm not really into animals that much. Like, if you try to sell me on the core concept of, like, you capture animals and you make them fight, then I'm not really into it. But I think the variety of Pokemon is maybe what adds to it. Like, it's not just animals. Like, if you pitched it as, like, you can capture dragons and make them fight, it's like, okay, there's more appeal to that for me than, like, animals. If you pitched it as, like, there's, like, ghosts, you capture ghosts and you make ghosts fight, that is where you have me, where I'm like, I'm in, I'm sold. And that's why I'm kind of like, I probably would like Yokai Watch if I ever tried it, just thematically at the very least. I have absolutely no clue. What is the gameplay of Yokai Watch? Is it just Pokemon, like you capture yokai? But I do like the concept of yokai. I'm afraid I can't allow that. The champion is the one who needs to control Eternatus. Must I explain myself? From your perspective, I just reminded myself he's British. I suppose it must seem that I am doing something terrible. Don't expect you to understand. I'll stop. It is my purpose, my destiny. And my duty, I forgot about that part. Alright, let's fight. It would be more epic if he just straight up punched me. You know? A lot of people were upset about Brexit. No, not Brexit. Dexit. A lot of people were also upset about that, but I meant Dexit, like Pokemon Dex. Like, not all Pokemon being available in this game. But I don't really feel like I've had too much of an issue with not every Pokemon being in the game. I do like the idea of one guy being really upset about Brexit, and he thinks everyone's talking about Pokemon. It's like, yeah, we need to do something about this. I immediately accepted Dexit because I was just like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, yeah, that is true. Every Pokemon is someone's favorite, right? And there are Pokemon that I wish were in this game, but I also accepted it immediately because I was like, yeah, it's like inevitable that it will happen. And it's like, there's 1,000 Pokemon now. Oh, that was the final one, and it's Dynamaxing it. Imagine being a medieval peasant and seeing this at the battlefield. Oh my god. It's so square. Now that was epic. Hate your haircut. I'm sorry, but that thing has been out of fashion for like 10 years now. Do people remember when this haircut was kind of like in, where the shaved sides were super popular? It might actually have been more, it might have been like 15 years now, right? And every single guy in Sweden was having this haircut with the shaved sides. And it was so popular. This was way back when I was growing my hair out. I went to the hairstylist, and he just automatically assumed like he wanted to give me that hairstyle. And so I sat down in the chair, and he was like, okay, so shaven sides? And I was like, no, I just want a regular haircut. And he was like shocked, and he was like, but shaven sides shorter? And I was like, no, like I just want a regular haircut. And he was like, you don't want it like this? And he pointed at his own hair because he had that haircut with like the shaven sides. And I was like, no, I just, not that. I just want a regular haircut. And he was like, okay, okay. And then he just gave me that haircut anyway. So I ended up with that haircut, despite the fact that I kept repeating myself, like, no, I don't want that haircut. I just want a regular haircut. Honestly, I just paid for it as usual. I didn't complain. I was just like, whatever. But I thought maybe at the end of it, I did think like, you know what, it doesn't look too bad. So I couldn't complain too much. But that's all I can think of now that I see that haircut with the shaven sides. It's like, was it that big? It was just the default for that time period. Why does it have to be these legendaries? Look at the game cover, points to it. Sword and shield. Yeah, I guess you never noticed. Actually, in Japanese culture, the sword is used as a weapon. Shields, they didn't really use shields, I guess. Ignore that for now. In Japanese culture, they ate to stave off hunger. Oh, yeah. It reminds me of something that actually did not work that well. During the Edo period, here's me being a nerd again, but it might fascinate you to hear about. In the 1800s in Japan, in the Edo period, people came up with a genius idea to stave off hunger, which was, what if we only ate rice? And it led to people dying from lack of nutrition, and people didn't get it. They were just like, but we're eating. Why are we dying? How could this happen? And then one guy was like, what if you ate meat with the rice? And then people lived again. And people were like, this guy's a fucking genius. I'm so used to my Intellion being able to just kill everything in one move. And dumbass Hops has his fucking sheep out to fight Eternatus. My god, Hops. My god. And you thought you could beat me. Alright, well, I did complain about Hops using a sheep, but the sheep ended up surviving longer than my strongest Pokemon, so I don't know, maybe Hops is onto something. Oh, I guess. They flew into the sun. Hooray, it's here. It's too bright. Too many lights. Here we have it. Your champion, Machi. Yay, that's me. Whoa. Alright. I don't have to pay for that. That's not on me, right? Because sometimes concerts, you know, the band has to pay for that. So I'm just saying, I'm not paying for fireworks. Pokemon Sword! I don't really like the music in this game. Like, what is this? Oh yeah, bring in the violins. After the fake synth. It's really all over the place. Like, maybe, I don't know, you could stick to like a theme or something with your music, not just throw everything against the wall. I could skip this, right? No, I can't. Okay. Unskippable. That's fine. In Japanese culture, it's actually, well, this is actually real. People sit in the cinema through the credits because it's, like, disrespectful to leave. So prepare for, if you ever go to the cinema in Japan, because you want to see a film in Japanese or something, be prepared. You have to sit through the credits, and if you leave during the credits, you will be seen as, like, the weird guy. Kind of nice, honestly, in a way. But I know I kind of just also want to leave.